welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at version 1.5.1 beta update from AMS2. But before we do that, please like and subscribe to keep in touch. This beta release follows on from the last update that we saw a few months ago. I'm going to go over the significant tyre tread adjustment update, which also looks at a complete AI calibration across a number of classes. We're also going to look at the dedicated safety car lineup. This means that we now have more than one safety car, and I'm going to go through every series and what safety car you get. There's also been an update to the new safety car pit-in signalling, and we're going to have a look to see how that works for greater immersion. Then we're also going to look at the Formula 1 2019 damage model. Plus there's a whole heap of other things that we'll look at as we're going through. But first, the tyre tread adjustment. The tyre tread adjustment is really significant, and it's an absolute game change for cars that had not had the updates that we've seen since 1.4, where we have seen incremental improvements across the classes. In this update, we're going to see the Caterham Supersport, Superlight, 620R all have this update. We're also going to see the sprint race class, the P2, 3 and 4 classes also have this update. Having spent a significant amount of time in this update, I can tell you that the cars now stick to the road. There's still, of course, movement when you're pushing it, but they're predictable and it allows you to push hard without the unpredictability. The Caterham has possibly gone from my least favourite car to a car that's really fun to drive. Before, the Caterham felt very light, felt very unpredictable. There's still movement, you can still feel it struggling to hold the grip sometimes, but you can feel the tyre on the surface. When you come into the braking, you can feel the car moving and sliding, but it doesn't release and let go in an uncontrollable fashion. When it comes to the prototype cars, you can just really feel they're slowly eliminating these bugs. Some of the comments I've read are significant improvements with the Caterham Superlight between 1.509 and 1.51. The P3 now feels so alive, and you can save the rear end loss. So much more predictable. Tremendous fun revisiting the sprint race in Brazil after the recent updates. What a wonderful car, keep up the good work. The P1, 2, 3 and 4 is bloody amazing. Wow. I cannot wait until this is released into the mainstream version so I can race with some mates. Caterham Supersport may be the most sublime sim car I've ever driven. Perfectly balanced with the default setup. Unbelievable ability to feel what the tyres are doing. You can really feel the tyres losing grip when they overheat, and then it comes back when you settle down. So subtle and realistic. If you haven't tried these two yet, you're missing out. All of these cars in the classes feel a bit more balanced. Of course, all of the centres of gravity on these cars are different, but they're all a pleasure to drive. All of the classes that have had the update also get an AI update. The change is really good. The Super Sprint race around Nürburgring was an absolute 15-lap battle. Now the AI push hard, and if you let off for a second, you will be punished with a pass rather than a hit from behind. The lines they take, even when looking to overtake, are measured and realistic, and you really can't tell the difference between the AI drivers and the real racers. Compared to any lobby, this can really be a go-to for fast, tough racing. The other thing you'll notice is the AI no longer hang around in packs of 3 or 4 side by side and not overtaking. They do everything they can to overtake. They look for alternative lines. They seem to slipstream well, and they're hard to shake off. I've seen AI start towards the back and make up 3, 4, 5 positions by the end of the race. The variety of what they do in their behaviour is really impressive. You can see certain parts of the circuit where the AI are all in line trying to get the slipstream. Towards the end, they'll pull out and push and try and pass if they can. When you're actually racing with them, it feels so predictable and so close. I have to say, this is a huge improvement. I'd say to anyone that receives the update should try all of these classes out just to see what I'm talking about. In the last update, we received a dedicated safety car. That means that when there were double yellow flags activated, the safety car comes out to slow the pack down. we're going to look at all of the series which cover the 6 safety cars. By default, all of the series will have the Chevrolet Camaro as a safety car. This was the standard safety car that was in all of the races, but then there are 5 new safety cars. The Porsche RSR is going to be the safety car in all of the Formula Retro Generation 1, 2 and 3 series. The AMG GT car is going to be in Formula Reza, Formula Ultimate, Gen 1 and 2. The Corvette 206 pace car is going to feature in the Formula USA 2023 series. Then the other 2 safety vehicles are going to feature in the Copper Truck series and all of the karting classes. So the Copper Truck will get a safety truck and all of the kart classes will get its kart. Next we've got the new safety car pit signal. But before that we can confirm they've added champion support for the scheduled full course yellows, which was missing from the last update. But in this update they've changed when the safety car lights go off to signal the end of the full course yellow. The full course yellow will last 2 to 3 laps. However, Reza have changed the signal to indicate when the car is coming into the pits. The car now switches off the lights when the car is just a few hundred meters from the pits. Thank you if you come this far. Remember, please like and subscribe to see more content. The next update relates to Formula Ultimate 2019. This is where they've added additional crash damage models. The original Formula Ultimate 2019 had crash damage, of course, but this has just been refined. A few little bugs that were in the system, the level of detail in the crash animation has been enhanced. No one likes to not finish a race, but I thoroughly recommend turning crash damage up high, realism up high, and competing against the enhanced AI in all of the classes. And finally, a massive update for me, no more missing components after a crash when you replay or restart the race. Before, if you had a crash, you lost a wheel, you'd restart, that wheel would be missing. That is no longer going to happen. We keep our fingers crossed that when that rolls out, we will have no more problems. With these updates, Reza has completed more of the overhaul of the physics, and it is something they're continually working on. AMS2 is a completely different sim to what we were experiencing 2 years ago. In the background, they're still continuing to work on the multiplayer whilst at the same time planning the Le Mans release. Just imagine if we can get a bigger grid, a further improvement of the multiplayer physics at the same time as releasing the Le Mans endurance build early next year. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you at the next one.